Hey guys, WildHeart here, and today we'll do patch 14.7 rundown. We'll go over all the important things that this patch prepared, including item changes, champions, and many more. So let's dive right into it. First of all, we have Skarner's visual graphic update. I personally expected that quite some time, but at the same time, I feel like that's something that many people did. Skarner was kinda just a fun champion to play unless you're just one-tricking the champion. I feel like, because when you have champions like Lee Sin, like Graves, like Kindred, like even Karthus, they might be just funnier to play the game than play it with Skarner. Oh well. Camille. What do we have with Camille? Q bonus movement speed increased, cooldown decreased. With Q bonus movement speed, I wouldn't say that big of a deal for support. That's a nerf targeting top lane mostly, in my opinion. Cooldown changes are kinda double-edged sword for not even the double-edged sword. I would say a clearly negative nerf for both like top Camille and support Camille. However, that's not something that you will really notice. That's like just 1 second, and with at least few ability haste items, you won't really notice any difference. W, tactical sweep. What do we have there? W is buffed, but I mean, that's actually a good buff. Plus 1% at level 1. You don't really want to max W. You never really max W. So this level 1 W plus 1% is actually nice. It's not like super game changing thing for Camille, but that's all. Like, percentage damage is always nice to have. Hookshot. Hookshot flat damage is nerfed. And that's a nerf that I feel is specifically targeting support. Because some support players who've been playing Camille have been getting like 2-3 points in hookshot to increase the quick burst, and now this burst is reduced by 20 damage. That's not like too much, but at the same time, that's something that you might probably notice. Especially if you're trying to one-shot the target. Fiora. Base AD is reduced by 2 units. I mean, she indeed is a little bit too strong early on, but at the same time, not strong enough to nerf her spells, so they want to nerf her flat damage. That makes sense to me. That actually makes sense to me. I agree with it. Galio. Galio just recently got buffed, and what do we have now? Is it like another buff? Last patch we preemptively nerfed Galio to ensure the changes didn't land too strong. Since he landed weaker than we expected, we'll be walking back on these nerfs as they are no longer necessary. We specifically reverted nerfs that affect him more while he's in melee range, as he needs the durability from W and the damage from passive and E to secure kills during that window. Alright. Magic damage remains the same, scales are reduced by 5% on AP ratio, and magic resistance is untouched. So basically only 5%, but actually 5% is something that you might notice, considering how tiny will be cooldown on your passive and how often you can deduct it with your spells. I feel like you kinda can spam it. And 5% at this point, it's something that you will notice for sure. W, let's see what we have with W. Wait. Oh. Wait a second. So they remove AP scaling, but they double the magic resist scaling. Wait, they actually add AP scaling, my bad. They add AP scaling, it now scales off AP. It's twice as strong as it was. magic resistance wise. HP scaling is the same, but flat numbers are increased as well. Holy shit. He's going to be extremely tanky against AP comps, like basically an anti-mage champion. An anti-mage champion, yeah. That's very solid. That's very difficult to kill such a champion. Justice Punch. Damage is increased as well, so pretty much everything is just buffed. It's straight up buffed. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Looking forward to see it in game. W, duration increased at lower ranks. R plus E, AoE shield increased. So basically they're aiming to nerf Karma, Karma's hyper carry potential, not like hyper carry, just regular carry mage potential. And they want to add extra utility, extra CC, so duration is increased. R plus E, AoE shield is increased, but I wouldn't say that's something that you might notice. I mean, at last rank, the difference is like... It's like super tiny. It's plus 24 shield. 24 shield at level 16. Kinda whatever, I feel like. But actually, AP scaling is increased by 10%. So that's something that you might notice. AP scaling is a very big deal, especially if you build AP Karma. With stuff like Malignance, Banner of Command, and so on. Movement speed and single target shield unchanged. That's cool, that's cool. We don't really want to overbuff Karma's shielding, because it can be really annoying to deal against like Karma, Iron comps, especially if you don't have champion who can build Serpent's Fang. Kayn. Q damage increased. I mean, flat damage isn't touched. And plus 5% scaling. I mean, actually that the spell we normally max is Kayn, but at the same time that's like formless Kayn, so that's not like something really important, especially considering the fact that flat numbers are untouched but scalings are increased. You probably won't notice a change if you're not like one-tricking Kayn, but if you're one-tricking, clearly even the slightest buff would be a great thing for you. Lux. Passive damage increased by 5% of AP scaling. That's cool. That's cool. Lux main might love it. And plus 5% on Q. Flat damages are untouched on both passive and Q. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. But as they're saying, that's pretty much a reimbursement to Lux mains who've been playing support. And now when Zag is pretty much nerfed. Wait, we haven't seen if it was nerfed or buffed or changed. Well, it was changed. It was changed, and I'm assuming it was nerfed, so they want to buff her slightly. W. Ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. What do we have there? Scaling is reduced, flat damages are reduced as well. I mean, normally you've been getting like 3 points in W and max in E if you've been playing with champs like Lucian or Caitlyn. Nah, actually for Caitlyn you wanna max W to perma poke, but for Lucian you wanna get like 3 points in W and max E. But scaling is nerfed as well. Healing, but I see. They nerf the damage, but they buff healing massively. Plus 20 healing at level 5. Plus 15% scaling. Bounce fall off. Interesting. But I actually completely support Riot at this statement. Nami is at one of her historically weakest points. That's true. That's true. I totally agree with them. Tide Scholar Blessing. That's something that you might nerf. Like, that's something, even without reading, I'm sure that's... If you want to nerf Nami, that's the best spell to nerf her with. I mean, yeah, they kinda just want to encourage you to max W and just leave E. Nasus, passive life steal increased, Q bonus physical damage increased. Cool. Cool. Nasus has been performing so well in solo queue, that's bullshit. On lower tiers, he's always popular. That's for sure. Plus 3% at level... Wait, what is that, like 1, 6, 11? Or what's the scale in or? Yeah, I'm assuming 1, 6, 11. But I mean, plus 3% is not massive. And it's only 1 in the earlier stages. But that's something that you will definitely notice on both top and mid lane Nasus. Let's see what Q has to offer. They don't touch his Siphoning strike stacks, but they want to buff his flat damages on Q. And it's only plus 10 units each level. That's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, that's something that will increase your increase your average stacks per game. I'm pretty sure that's not about your combat possibility, but it's more about your average enjoyment of stacking Nasus passive with Q. Q on Olaf. What do we have there? Bonus monster damage 5. Monster, not minion. Yeah, monster. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So they want Olaf to jungle. I see. Bonus XP duration plus 1 second. Mana cost is increased as well. If your jungle is Olaf, you're pretty much never run out of mana, so that's whatever. Cooldown refund 1 second per basic attack, 1 second per basic attack, increased to 2 seconds when hitting monsters. Huh? I didn't put it. 1 second per basic attack. Ah, so you refund 2. I see, so you refund 2 seconds per basic attack when hitting monsters. So, man, you can just rush Baron. Holy fucking shit. I might screenshot this one. I see. I mean, I really might screenshot this one. That's very cool. That's very cool for all of lovers. Ragnarok. Ragnarok now has mana cost, and honestly, that's cool. I hate when when mana reliant champions have spells that don't cost anything. That's terrible. The terrible game design, in my opinion. I feel like each spell on champions who have mana should cost something. Ruxai. Fewer gain from minions, swords, and plants. Heal. So they nerf. Yeah. Heal oriented nerf. Heal oriented nerf, basically a nerf towards top laner Ruxai. Makes sense. Makes sense because this top laner, she was really oppressive. Rel. What we have is Rel. Slight magic resist growth buff. Alright. Bonus monster damage removed. Fuck jungler Rel. Cool. Crush down. Monster bonus damage removed. Alright. Officially, Rel jungler is dead. She's just dead. Rel will only be support now. Cool. Senna. Fewer souls dropped from allied support from allied support items. From allied support items killing minions. More souls dropped from Senna killing minions. What? I see. That kinda makes no sense to me though, because they wanted to nerf AD Senna recently, like AD carry Senna, and now it kinda just looks like they reversed the nerf, if I'm not mistaken. It just looks weird to me, honestly. Smolder, base armor increased by 2 units. That's cool, because Smolder got nerfed too hard, I believe. Even though the champion is S, nerfing his armor is the right thing, that's for sure. Bonus physical damage based on crit chance. 0.30 to 0.50%. That's cool. I love it. I love boss changes. That's very smart way to buff him. Sona. Holy moly, so many changes. Staccato damage bonus plus 10%. Wow. Alright. AP scale introduced, good, that's good. Heal is buffed, that's cool. Alright, so I see what Riot is trying to do. Riot want to bring Enchanter supports back, but at the same time, I'm not sure how healing of Nami and Sona is supposed to compete with current Soraka state. Like, Soraka feels just quite too strong to me. Align movement speed is increased as well by what? By 1% at level 2? Ah, I see. So it scales up to 18% now. But the scale in itself is not touched at all. I mean, you've never been really maxing it. So your skill order now is supposed to be probably 3 points in Q for laning phase, max in W into E, and only later in the game you finish your Q. Probably something like that. Unless you're playing with poking ADC like Ezreal. With them you probably want to have this extra damage for poke. R cooldown increased for Volibear. God bless, that's something that you want to nerf for Volibear, that's for sure. That's for sure. 160 seconds at level 6. It's too much. It's actually too much. Like, if you think about his ulti like that, 3 minutes cooldown for ulti where he fucking jumps and disables turret. I mean, yeah, that's a massive game changer later in the game, but you cannot really use it on lower tiers of the game. Like, even on like Diamond 1 Master Tier, you cannot really use this dive potential early because players don't really know how to properly dive. Maybe at the light tiers like Challenger and Pro Play, that matters a lot, but on lower ranks, that's not that big of a deal, I feel like. 3 minutes though, I mean almost 3 minutes, 2 minutes 40 seconds. That's massive, that's kind of massive. Wait, what do we have on Q? Crits only increase Volibear's attack damage instead of total ability damage. wait, it was actually increasing his Q damage. Ability damage, interesting. I didn't know that. Honestly, I haven't noticed that he does some extra damage from the spell, not from the attack. But also, when the fuck do you meet Volibear who crits? Like, why would you why would you build crit for Volibear? What a bullshit. Salas, Q monster damage increased. Wait. 70 for monsters. Wow, that's actually strong. What do you have as items? We're taking a long look at the damage coming out of the support role, and this patch we're going after some exclusively damaged sections. Boot explosion damage 20 plus 20% AP plus 4% target max health. Now it's moved to 10. I mean, that's a massive fucking nerf. That's actually a massive fucking nerf. Cooldown 876 at level 1, 11, 16. Wait, what? So cooldown is just going to be 10 seconds? If I get it right? Yeah, just 10 seconds. I mean, that's just a straight up fucking nerf. That's very strong. Blood Song. See Zagzag for more context. Zagzag is bound to match supports where champions like Deret and Lux have support as their strongest role, which leaves us little room to buff them in places like mid lane. Alright, I mean, kinda makes sense. You don't really want to build any item then, aside from Zagzag, though. You don't really have any other support option for champions like Lux, like Zeret. You just don't want other items, they're bullshit for you. Bloodsong creates similar problem for fighters like Camille and Pantheon with respect to their top lane power. In general, we don't expect these damage-focused champions to switch support items, but would like if enchanters and tanks would build these items less frequently. Wait, what? Wait. but would like if enchanters and tanks would build these items less frequently. Alright, I saw some tanks who build blood song. I can imagine how like Leona or Nautilus are building blood songs. But Zag for enchanters? I mean, maybe for Nami. Maybe for Nami, I can believe it. And maybe for Jan. Yeah, I mean, maybe they got the point. Yeah, for Jan and for Nami, that's a thing. But for example, for Soraka, I would never go for Zag. For Sona, I think I would never go Zag either. For other enchanters. Yumi. Would you build Zag for Yumi? Probably not. I'm not sure what you would prefer to build as Yumi, but probably not Zag. Imperial Mandate rounds out this listed support item that provides almost exclusively damage. No shit. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this fucking sucks. That's like they speak about how weak is Nami, and immediately while they're buffing her healing, they nerf her damage on her spells on both W and E, and they nerf her her two core items like support item and Imperial Mandate. Like, what's the point, bro? Like I can foresee it like clearly that they're going to revert it. Like they're going to change something for sure, because that's going to kill Nami even further. Like this extra healing is cool, but that's not going to save Nami from being outmatched by Soraka, for example. Why would you pick Nami if Soraka does more damage and does better at healing? And you don't need to build damage dealing items and you scale better. Like, what's the point in picking Nami? Static Shift. Static Shift is a bit too strong now that crit ADCs have a great late game awaiting them. So we adjusted the cost so that it doesn't hastily bring them to the late game as much as it did in the past. Complete fucking bullshit. That's a total bullshit. Like, it doesn't really bring you to the late game. You pick Static because it helps you to wave clear, so you can push the lane faster, and on an average, it helps you to farm better. That's it. You don't pick it for the purpose of late game. It has nothing to do with late game. It's just a cheap, gold efficient item. That's it. Probably stronger than other options, that's for sure, but it has nothing to do with late game. Literally. Aside from the fact that it also was giving you crit, and it is giving you crit, and crit is normally useful for crit ADCs to get to 100% crit. That's it. World Atlas. Excessive minion kill threshold. 20 minions in 5 minutes to 20 minions. To 20 minutes in general, divided by the number of support items on your team in 5 minutes. I don't really like that they're just nerfing support without offering something in exchange. Like, seriously, I don't really like it. I don't like that they don't touch supports who are not strong in general. To put it simple, who are not strong. Why we don't see any buffs for Trash while Trash was bullshit for like last 2 seasons? Yeah, there are some players who are like real good with Trash, who can carry the games with Trash, but on an average this champion is terrible. It's just weak. Just straight up weak. For additional clarity, this would be 10 minions over 5 minutes if 2 people on your team have World Atlas, then 7 minions over 5 minutes if 3 people have it, etc. Well, I mean, why would you have more than one World Atlas? It would be complete trolling to me, as I see it. But yeah, I mean, for now that's all, guys. This patch note seems little odd and tragic to me. Honestly, I love some changes. I love that Olaf is stronger for jungle now, but at the same time, I feel like support role is probably getting too many hits. Probably too many hits. But well, honestly, 14.7 wasn't that interesting and that exciting for me, but 14.8 is probably going to be much more important than this one was, because it will bring much more changes. This one just looks like you know, just a transfer towards next patch, just another stop before next patch, like a placeholder or something. But yeah, that was WildHeart. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Bye guys.